as you all know, I used the TBR jar to pick my November TBR, so I'm probably going to be using the the TBR jar from here on out because of the cart. So I was like, how can I still use my TBR board game that I made? So I came up with this idea. And so we're going to use the TBR board game to choose my reads, and I'm going to read those books in today's video. So it's going to be a spoiler-free reading vlog where the TBR board game chooses what I read, and in the process, clearing the cart. I'm really excited for this. It's going to be really fun, and if you guys really like this idea and this concept, definitely let me know in the comments. But if you guys really like it, I may do it like every month or every other month or whatever. We'll figure it out. So now we're going to go over to my desk and we are going to see what the TBR board game gives us today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fiction. Did you hear about Kitty Car? Okay, we are finally gonna get this off the TBR. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantasy. These Violent Delights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another fiction. Ugh. No, I'm not reading The Women. The Sky Above Us. This one is the one I first drew, but I'm not reading that, so not right now. The Sky Above Us it is. So we have 2 fiction and 1 fantasy. So we have These Violent Delights, Did You Hear About Kitty Car, and The Sky Above Us. So The Sky Above Us is right here. So we need to move these over. There we go, there we go. Sky Above Us. These Violent Delights is over here. So that way, these Ava. Take this out. Right here. These Violent Delights. And Did You Hear About Kitty Car? Just back here. Here she is. So these are the books we're going to be reading in today's video. Oh God, the mic's not even towards me. Hope you guys heard all that. Don't know which one I'm going to start. If I'm being honest, I think I'm kind of in the mood for this. That may change. That's enough yapping for this intro. I will see you guys when I pick a book. Hey guys, so I decided to start Did You Hear About Kitty Car? I started this last night. I got to like page 6. So I've read quite a bit this morning. So I'm on page 56. And this is different than I expected it to be. And I can't decide if that's a good or bad thing yet, because obviously I'm only 56 pages in, so I don't know. But so far, it's dual POV and dual timelines. So the POV, I think we follow 2 POVs. So far, we've only followed 2 POVs. We've followed one in the present and then a different perspective in the past. I am intrigued. I definitely want to know more. The past perspective is a little bit difficult to read because we are following a Black woman in America in the 1930s. So we all know that the 1930s for Black people were not the best. And so it's a little difficult to read about, especially from the perspective of a Black woman. So and she's a woman. That makes it a little worse. I don't like the past timeline because that's a little heavy. I'm intrigued. I want to know how the present and the past kind of come together to make this story. I am enjoying the Hollywood vibe of the present. That's really all I have to say right now. Is I'm intrigued. We have dual POV and we also have dual timeline. Past is not fun to read about. I will update you guys once I am halfway through and I can give you a more in-depth like thought process and feelings, because right now I don't got any. Just found out who Kitty Carr is. Like, we've been following 2 women in the past, and I was like, is Kitty Carr gonna be one of these 2 women that we're following? Wasn't sure, but we just found out. I'm like, I'm not mad about it, and now I feel like I'm going to enjoy it more because I know who Kitty Carr is, and now I can get connected to the story because I didn't know how I felt about it because I didn't know how the past was going to connect with the present, but now that I do, I know who Kitty Carr is, and I'm gonna continue reading. I just figured I would. My brother's playing video games. I just figured I would jump on here and be like, I might start enjoying this a lot more than I was. So I'm excited for that. Okay, guys. So I am quite a bit over the halfway point. Let's see. I'm on page 246, chapter 24, and I can say that I'm enjoying this way more than I was at the very beginning. I didn't really know how I felt about it. I was liking it. I wasn't like loving it, and I feel like that's the same now. As it's not a 5-star, but we're in the 4-star range right now. We're getting a lot more of the past perspective than I actually expected. I thought we would probably get like a good amount of both past and present, but we're getting a lot of the past, which I don't mind. I am enjoying the past perspective more. Now I know who Kitty Carr is, and I'm learning more about her and her background. But I still am not sure how that's going to connect the 3 black women that she left her inheritance to. I don't think I ever explained the plot, and that's because I didn't really understand the plot. But I have a better understanding now, I think. So I'm going to try my best to explain to you what this is about. So we follow Kitty Carr. We see how she is born and like the struggles that her mom had to go through, because as a black woman in America in the 1950s, segregation, things like that, slavery, not the 1950s, but her mom had to. Anyway, Kitty Carr is light skinned because she is mixed. her father is a white man. So they do what's called passing. So basically these black women that are light skinned pretend to be white. We follow Kitty as she's in Los Angeles, and she's always had this dream to be an actress. Well, obviously, not a lot of film studios are hiring. Nobody, really, is hiring black actresses. So right now she's working at this studio, and she just got promoted, and now she's this assistant of the owner of the studio. And I feel like there might be a romance between her and the owner of the studio. The characters in this book are interesting. Enjoying it. I'm honestly excited to see how all of this is wrapped up, because I honestly have no clue. I don't have a single inkling of how this is going to end and how this is going to be wrapped up. Hey guys, so I finished Did You Hear About Kitty Carr by Crystal Smith Paul earlier today, and I really enjoyed it. It was definitely different than what I thought it was going to be going in. Honestly, I don't know what I thought, but it was nothing like I thought. There are some heavier topics in this. There's a lot of racism in this, so if that triggers you, it's probably not something you need to read. The synopsis says that it's like, it says a multi-generational saga that traverses the glamour of old Hollywood and the seductive drawl of modern day showbiz. Honestly, I didn't get that from this. Unfortunately, that is why I was interested in it, is because I love, ever since I read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, the old Hollywood vibes I love. So when I saw this in Book of the Month, that's really why I chose it, is because we got old Hollywood and I was so excited. But unfortunately, it kind of let me down in that aspect. We have dual timelines, the present, which is in 2017, and the past, which is the 1950s. In the present, we follow Elise, who just recently found out that her and her sisters have inherited their neighbor's estate, Kitty Carr, and they're kind of confused as to why they've inherited this estate. Then in the past, we follow Kitty Carr as her rise to fame and all of the struggles that she had to endure as a black woman in America in the 1950s. So yeah, that is literally the bare minimum of what this book is about. There is a whole lot more that takes place. Honestly, there are some really sad things that happen and some other things that I don't necessarily agree with, but I understand why our characters had to do the things that they did in order to just simply survive. And yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I just didn't get the old Hollywood vibes from it as I would have liked to. We get it a little bit once Kitty actually becomes an actress, but that's all. And it's literally just a little bit. The old Hollywood, I don't even think is the main point of the story, to be honest. And it kinda is marketed like Hollywood is like the main thing, but it's really not, unfortunately. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I rated it a 3.75 star. So I would recommend, again, check trigger warnings because there is a lot going on in this book. So now is the hard task of picking another book. Are Sky Above Us and These Violet Delights. And honestly, I'm leaning more towards These Violet Delights because I just think I want to save this one for last because I'm not necessarily excited for this because I have, DNF'd it. I want to get back into it and see if I am going to for real DNF it and not soft DNF, but I am kind of excited for this. So yeah, I will definitely let you guys know once I make a decision and start reading. Hey guys, so we are going to ignore the unmade bed, the undecorated Christmas tree, because I am going to be talking about these Violent Delights. I have officially, finally made it halfway. I'm probably a little bit over halfway. I don't know what the exact, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm currently on page 233, and I don't know. I was actually just talking about this with my brother. I actually don't really know how I feel about it just yet. There are parts about it that I do like. I'm enjoying the plot, and I am enjoying our characters back and forth. What I don't like is that we have been told multiple times that Juliet is this big fighter, and she's killed people, and there's like this rumor where she killed her American lover and all of this, but we really haven't seen much of that. She talks a big talk, you know what I mean? And we haven't really seen any evidence of her actually being this bad girl, this insanely vicious person. And same with Roma, is we have been told that he is this big bad guy, and he has a bunch of bodies, and he's just, but we saw a little bit of that. I just wish we saw more instead of being told that our characters are these vicious people. We really haven't seen any proof of that yet. But like I said, the plot I'm really enjoying. It's weird. It's creepy. And that's what I wanted. That was the next point that I wanted to get to, was the fact that this book is YA, but it is so gory. The things that are happening, the things that this monster is doing is described, and I'm here for it, honestly. I like the gore. Because it's like a movie in my head, like I can see exactly what's happening, and I do like that it's described. It's just gory for it to be classified as a YA. But yeah, this is where I'm at. That's my thoughts and feelings right now. I am enjoying it. I don't know, it's definitely not a 5-star. Honestly, in terms of rating, if I had to rate it right now, it would probably be like a 3.5. 3.75. I'm enjoying it. It's good. The plot is good. The characters are good. I just wish we got a little bit more background on the viciousness of our two main characters. But I am enjoying it, and I am interested to see what is going to happen and what the solution is going to be. I think this is part of a series, and so I think this is going to end on a cliffhanger, because I did see at the end, when I was trying to see how many pages it was, I saw a little thing that said to be continued. We love a to be continued, don't we? I'm gonna continue to read, and I will see you guys when I actually finish. Hey guys, so I finished these Violent Delights a couple of nights ago, Saturday night. It is currently Tuesday night, or Tuesday. I finished it Saturday night, and thank goodness. I don't know what it was about this book. I just didn't really enjoy it. I didn't connect to the characters, didn't really connect to the storyline. There were certain parts that I enjoyed, but other parts where I was just like, Also, we were told that Juliet was this big bad girl who like could kill without a second thought, but we weren't shown that until the end. And the same with Roma. We were told that he was this big bad dude, but weren't really shown. I rated it a 2.75, and I'm so glad it's over. I'm glad I read it, and now that it's off my physical TBR, even though this is one of the books that I just got, so it's kind of sad that I didn't enjoy it, but I am glad that it's over with, and I will not be continuing the series. So, you know how I play the board game? They got 3 books, and I've read 2 of them, and the 3rd book is none other, if I can get it out of the cart, that would be nice, than The Sky Above Us. Honestly, the more I think about this book, the less I want to read it. I have been sitting here contemplating, what to do, and I just don't want to read it. So I think I'm going to just unhaul it and forget about it, because I just don't want to read it, and why keep it on my book cart if I'm just never going to read it. So we are going to play another round of the board game and to pick another book for today's video, because I really, really do not want to read that book. And I'm not going to force myself to read it. So we are going to, like I said, play another round of the board game. 2. Oh, we got a fantasy. Ruthless Vows. Okay, so I had a feeling I might draw this, and I want to read this in a different reading vlog, so I'm not going to read that. So we're going to choose a different one. The Last Legacy. That is perfect, because that is on my December TBR. I'm not mad about it. Last Legacy it is. Here she is, The Last Legacy by Adrienne Young. So this is the book we're going to be starting. I don't know what this is about. I said this in my TBR video. I don't know what it's about. And you know what? This is perfect because she is short. So how many pages is she? 320 pages. So that is great. Alright, I'm excited about this. So I have a couple things I need to do today, but I will be starting this later today. I made some applesauce bread yesterday, and it's so good. So I am officially 100 pages in of The Last Legacy. So this is my first impression update. I'm on chapter 12. And to be honest, I don't know exactly how I feel, because the beginning is very, very slow. And honestly, I wouldn't say very, very slow, because there has been a lot of stuff kind of happen. But I really wasn't getting interested until our main character got to where she's at right now. And I'm still confused about what exactly it is that her family does. I have no idea. They steal, I think. I'm confused as to what kind of business they have. I know it's not legal. I do know that much, but I just don't know what it is exactly that they do. So we have our main character, Bryn. She was living with her aunt because her aunt and her uncle made a deal after her parents died that she would go live with her aunt for a little while, and then on her 18th birthday she'd come back to her hometown and live with her uncle and learn about the business. So basically that's where I'm at now. She's back home, she's back at her hometown, she's learning about the business. she's learning more about her uncle. And then there's this mysterious guy. He's the silversmith, and he's very grumpy. He has, not grumpy, he doesn't really say much. He just kind of keeps to himself. He's not very nice. And I think he's the love interest. But yeah, I'm getting to the point now where I am getting interested in, especially after what just happened in the previous chapter. I'm interested. I know I didn't really say what this is about because I do not know. And like I said, I am so confused about what the family does for a job. Only 100 pages in. Hopefully that'll be cleared up for me, because if not, I'm going to be confused this entire book. While our main character is learning about the family business, I'm going to be in the dark. So there's a few things we're going to ignore. We're going to ignore the unmade bed with no sheets because they are currently in the wash. We're going to ignore my hair. I just got out of the shower, so I look like a drowned rat. And also, yes, I am wearing a Bucky's jumpsuit. Me and my brother have matching ones, and he wanted to wear his last night, so I decided I would match him. I have officially made it halfway in this book, and honestly, I'm not real sure how I feel about it. I am enjoying it, and I'm interested in the story. Cassie, you see her over there? I'm interested in the story and the characters. I am really loving when our main character Bryn is with our love interest Ezra. The scenes between the two of them are so funny because it's enemies to lovers, so there's a lot of like banter, and Ezra is very standoffish. He doesn't really say much, but when he does talk, it's pretty funny. So I do really enjoy the two of them together. I think more than I am enjoying the plot, because basically we're just following Bryn as she learns about the family business. But really, it's just her being used by her uncle for his own gain. Because, for example, there was a scene where he sent her to this person's house knowing that she was going to get hurt, and he only did that so he could get a seat at the merchant's table and try to get basically a license to trade in another part of their world. And because what they do, they're fake gem traders, so they trade fake gems. So yeah, I liked that scene in the sense of, well, I have a reason, and if I tell you, it's going to be a spoiler, so I'm not going to tell you. And then he also wants her to potentially marry the merchant's son now because of like the influence, and it would be good for the two families to be kind of united. So basically that's all that's really happened, is her being used by her uncle, and her and Ezra have like a forced proximity trope going on, because he lives in her uncle's manor and obviously she lives there too. So like I said, I'm enjoying it. I'm just not loving it. It's not like the best thing ever, and honestly I had similar feelings when I was reading Fable by Adrienne Young. So I don't know if it's just her writing that I just don't really like, or if it's her storytelling, her stories that I'm just not really vibing with. But I do, like I said, I am enjoying it. It's just not a 5-star or anything. And for this book to be really short, it's really taken me a long time to get halfway. It's taken me a few days. And I don't know if that is because I'm kind of in the middle of like a book high, because I just finished The Fault in Our Stars and loved that book. That book was a 5-star. I absolutely loved it. And you guys have already seen me read it and me react to it, so you guys know. So I don't know if I am just kind of in high, and so this book is just kind of disappointing me because I just finished that one. Which is possible. It's very possible. So, but yeah, like I said, I am enjoying this. I am interested in the story. I'm interested in the characters. So that is good. That's good, because with these Violet Delights, I just didn't really care about the characters or the story. And this one I do. I want to know what's going to happen, and I want to know how the romance is going to kind of blossom. And I also want to know how things are going to get solved, because this is a standalone, so there's no, like, it's not a series. So I'm interested to see how things are going to get wrapped up with Bryn and her uncle. Sorry that the lighting is absolutely horrendous, but it's what we have, right? So, as you know, I finished this book a couple of hours ago, and I just needed to take a few hours to kind of figure out how I was feeling and to try to articulate my thoughts, because honestly I don't have very many, but I was like, how do I put how I feel into words? And sometimes that's very difficult for me. So I rated this a 3-star. I enjoyed half of this book. I really didn't start enjoying and getting invested until the halfway point. And honestly, then it wasn't even that much. I loved the romance. I really enjoyed scenes with Ezra and Bryn a lot. I feel like we didn't get enough background when it comes to Bryn's uncle and exactly what he does. For this to be a standalone, I don't think it was long enough for the amount of stuff that happened in here, because we didn't get a lot of background. I still don't fully understand what it is that Bryn's uncle does. I know that he's a gem trader, like the gems, but I don't fully understand exactly what all of that entails. And I found myself kind of getting frustrated sometimes because I felt like I was out of the loop. And they were talking about, you know, what they needed, and he needs this certain merchant's ring or something. And I was like, I feel left out because I don't know exactly what you're talking about. So yeah, again, I wish we kind of got some more background on Bryn's uncle. Yeah, I really did like the ending. I feel like it had a satisfying conclusion. I really did enjoy that. So yeah, that's it for that. So we're going to quickly do a little bit of a recap on the books that we read in today's video. So the first book we read in today's video was Did You Hear About Kitty Carr by Crystal Smith's Paul. I rated this a 3.75 star. I really enjoyed it, as you know already. Then the second book we read in today's video was These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. Rated this a 2.75 star. Didn't really enjoy. And then last but not least, obviously I just talked about it, The Last Legacy was a 3-star. Is the conclusion of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Helps me out so much, and thank you so much for being here with me today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!